anything horrifying.
For what?
We are very TOS friendly.
Yeah, I mean,
No, we
Boobs are
can
not
discuss
horrifying.
horrifying things, we just can't show them.
I mean,
Yeah.
boobs can be horrifying, especially on a male.
Yeah, but those are not allowed either.
Well, for once, they actually.
It's somebody's fetish.
True.
Quality.
Yeah, there was a good while where it wasn't equality. You could show as much man chest as you wanted.
There was actually a few that marketed themselves on that.
No, Manchester is a city.
Marketed themselves on that. Seriously, am I slurring that much?
Mm-hmm.
No, that was towards Chris.
Mm.
Oh, I see.
Manchester.
Oh yes, oh yes. That is one fucking brilliant nickname, though. If you're calling yourself Manchester, and then you have, that would be awesome.
That's
That would be
hold
awesome.
the camera on stream, just the dude's chest,
Yeah.
nothing else.
Perfect marketing. The first stream, the job is
So
already
up to
done.
today we can bomb Shinmista. Just kidding.
Fireball,
today we
fireball,
can
fireball.
Carefully land the airship through a giant fucking forest. And hopefully
Who
not
said anything
kill any
about-
things.
Who said anything about landing?
It should be noted that the Shilmista city is partially on the edge of cliffs.
We don't know that.
You're about to find out.
Yep.
If they can
But
But
find
my
it.
plan
Might
of
not
landing
even
was
find it.
actually to crash land into the trees. I mean, they would slow us down.
Trump
Yeah.
better not see flying arrows today towards our ship.
We'll see about that.
No promises.
Yeah. Depends on what the people on the ship do.
What the wood elves do.
Okay, so no promises from on my part. Opposite might stop me.
I mean, as usual, no
We'll see.
promises from Quelena.
We'll see. I'll
she
think
will
about
do what
something.
is best for the
Her.
world.
Let's just face it. Her.
No, it's very specific thoughts.
Awesome.
Chris, now that you're so active, do you remember what happened at the end of last session?
Find destroyed. And it didn't kill me. Well, yet.
Yeah.
It only half killed me so far.
You've been fondling a moonblade. That's
Yes.
playing with your
I don't
life.
want to know what he's been doing in his spare time alone.
Well, he's not alone either. He's with
Yeah.
Arundel.
He's-
And you're doing it in front of people. Come on.
Actually, it's
Actually,
Arundel that
Arundel.
encouraged me.
yeah. And Arundel is fondling at the same time, so
Yeah.
Oh my.
Apparently, he had
was,
a lot
eh?
more experience fondling such things than me.
well, like he can just take it.
Yeah. He can take it like a man, or elf, or whatever the fuck they want to call him. Can take it like a Lachey.
Yeah, he's none of those things that you first listed. So
Whereas me, I'm barely hanging in there, and we're not done yet.
Yep.
And I'm below half health.
yeah,
You want healing?
I don't think you'll
The
make it in
healer is
time.
with me.
just carpet bombing healing word on Shilmista.
Is it that building? Healing word. Could be that building. Healing word.
It's a bonus action, so you can do it while navigating.
Perfect.
Yes. So the visions of the Moonblade, or the trials, as one might call them.
Trials.
Yes.
I mean, I guess it is your trial.
Is Kotha worthy?
There is a jury, and the blade is an executioner, in a manner of speaking.
Yes. There is a jury in the blade, and then the blade itself is, so far, doing the job of execution quite well.
So that only leaves judge open, so I guess Kotar has to be the judge in this case. But he'll be very impartial, though.
Yeah, of course. because he doesn't know the verdict.
Yeah. Okay. So, the last time.
Last chapter of Banter.
Last time, the last vision you saw was a sparring match between whoever at that point carried the Moonblade and a young elven woman who you beat very handedly before a young man resembling your grandfather rushed in and embraced the woman that you had just beaten.
You killed your own grandfather.
Never did anything towards me yet.
And then you decided to concentrate on the figure in the reflection of the blade that was second from the left. Okay. So let's recap the questions that you've asked from, or you have asked yourself while handling the Moonblade. That have been sparked by likely the connection with the Moonblade. Those have been so far. Who am I? Am I only my lineage? What is my purpose? And how far would I go to protect my lineage?
As far as necessary. But no children.
Yes, you have made it known that no children are on the agenda.
But who knows? This blade might force a demand that they be. I mean, what kind of children? Maybe orc children are okay to kill?
Goblin children.
Goblin children, of course. They need to be put down early.
I mean, you're no gruff human ranger, so I'm pretty sure that you would spare the goblin children.
No.
No.
No, they're too green.
What is it with my DMing just attracting these goblin child haters?
I don't hate any children.
No, you just try to steal them all the time.
that
You should
that
have
was
brought
one
this test to
time.
me. Yeah.
I bring them gifts.
And I didn't try to steal him. I was trying to save him
From himself.
from his mother.
So, Kothar, the vision sparks up in your mind, and you find yourself in the middle of a battlefield, in the midst of a large city that has already partly been ruined by the fighting. Before you, in a strict formation, is a line of elven warriors in plate mail and large kite shields, wielding mostly these long, very slender elven swords. In front of them is a horde of orcs and demons that are piling over them, trying to get at them from behind the shields. And the battle rages on. You stand some ways behind the main event of the fighting, near a group of archers who are launching arrows down the street that the horde is coming from, where it's bottlenecked in towards the city behind you that's been evacuated, considering the city streets are empty and you don't hear any crying or moaning. Then you see a large, obese, yellowish green skinned figure, large winged demon, stomp up a ruined building that's been made into a pile of rubble. He stomps up to the top and then roars towards an elf with braided hair standing some ways off to your left, The demon swings its great axe and turns it straight, pointed towards the man standing beside you, and shouts, "Floor, come, face me. Come and die at my feet."
Does it seem like I'm part of the defensive line of the archers?
Yes.
And moving towards the larger demon would be breaking that line.
Yeah.
He would just give a rude gesture to the demon and take up a defensive stance, ready to brace for the horde.
Good. The demon roars, and the elven captain standing nearby, who has been called out, Flar, as his name was beckoned. He rushes forward towards the demon with a large kite shield and a lacquered breastplate on, bearing a symbol that you recognize as that of ancient Cormyr, I believe.
Cormyr.
Or Cormanthor. Ancient Cormanthor. He rushes forward. At the same time, the defensive line in front of you, the main defensive line, breaks and buckles under the hordes of orcs and lesser demons, and the onslaught of the forest comes straight towards you. And as you witness this and the image freezes, you see the snarling faces of these creatures rushing towards you. A question pops into your head and asks, "Am I prepared to die even if it means the end of my lineage?"
Yes, but only in the defense of my lineage.
Okay. The vision fades almost as if you blinked. And next you see the same battlefield. You are standing exactly where you were before. In front of you, all the elves are dead. Behind you, all the elves are dead. Between them is littered orc and demon corpses as well. On the pile of rubble where the demon once stood lies the body of the elven captain that rushed forth. And you hear the sounds of battle echoing from behind you now. And as you turn, you see these tall, very slender, very beautifully built wizard towers suddenly glow red and then shatter as hellish flames combust from inside the towers, shattering the towers to 1,000 pieces, while these fireworks start popping off as these magical spells hidden within are released in the wild.
Chase off in that direction. See if there's anyone left to save.
Okay. You take a step, but despite yourself, you find yourself turning around. And as the vision fades, you feel yourself running towards the forest. And then the vision is gone, and you're staring back down at the moonblade in your hands.
That's going to be a very judgmental stare at that particular one that he had the vision of.
The second from the left the figure that you concentrated on, doesn't look up. He hangs his head.
As he should. But done is done. So he moves his focus to the next.
Okay. In the middle is your grandfather, so you would skip over to the second from the right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. You see the scowl on the face of the guy in the far right, staring up at you as if you try and concentrate on the man beside him. And then you find yourself back in another vision. This time you are at a crossroads in a thick forest. There are paths going in all four directions from you. Behind you is a small wagon, atop which is an elven woman. Her cloak is tightly wound around her as she holds on to the reins of a bucking and neighing horse. A nervous horse by all description. And on her cloak you recognize a clasp similar to the ones you saw in the very first vision, except that this is not the Amakir family sigil. She is concentrating on the horse. Behind her is sitting a young elven girl. In her arms is a small bundle wrapped in a cape that does bear the Amakir emblem. And you can hear and feel concern from yourself emanating and concentrating on the little bundle in her arms, and you hear a bit of sniffling coming from it.
Look around for danger beyond the caravan. It's clear that something is disturbing the horse.
Yes.
Check the bushes, scorch them if need be.
You turn and see that the moonblade has already been drawn and is burning with a blue flame. You see slight movement in the woods around you.
Challenge whoever or whatever is in it to present themselves. Fight honorably. Or die a coward.
Okay. You present your blade and blink and find yourself in a... You find yourself looking back to the wagon. This time the horse is outright rearing, and in front of it is a large creature that you would recognize as a bugbear. There are two goblins atop the wagon as well. One is reaching out for the bundle in the young girl's arms, and the other is poking at the driver, the older woman, holding the reins with a crude spear. There are already several goblin bodies at your feet that have been burned horribly and cut down mercilessly. There is a question in your mind as you observe the moment's choice of who to save in the moment. The question is it the lineage or family that I hold dearest?
The child would be lineage, the woman holding it would be family, or the rider, since the rider is of a different insignia,
The driver is likely more family. The young girl behind her is too young to be family unless it's a sister of some kind.
And the child in the bundle?
You cannot see the child in the bundle. The young girl is holding the bundle very closely, so like guarding it with her arms.
Make for the child.
Okay.
The rider is an adult. She can fend for herself. If not, then she should have trained harder. Child cannot fend for itself.
You rush forward and pass by the goblin that is striking towards the driver. Your moonblade cuts once, and the goblin on the back of the wagon is sliced clean in half and drops down off the wagon. You look back to the driver, her arm outstretched towards you, her face full of anguish as this spear digs into her chest, exactly where her heart is.
Pity. But is the child saved?
You look into the bundle and see a healthy half-elven child.
Good. Now to protect that while murdering the rest of them.
Okay. You rush forward again, cutting into the goblin and then the bugbear. As the vision fades away, another question rises in your mind, asking, what is lineage?
That's a good question. I would say that lineage is family. Family does dilute, but that does not make it less family nor less lineage.
Okay. So is that your answer?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, that's your answer. Family is lineage.
Family is lineage.
Okay. The vision, while fading away, cuts back to the face of the woman reaching out to you as the spear digs into her chest, and then the vision shatters. You're left once more with the moonblade in your hands, gazing at the 5 faces in the
Well
reflection.
then, time for the scowling one.
The scowling one.
Yes.
Back to him,
Let's see
huh?
what he's scowling about. Isn't he the only one left, or is it
He
Grandfather left?
was the first one you had visions of.
Oh yeah, of course. I accidentally went all the way to that side first. In that case, it's only the grandfather left, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
Or is that the final judgment?
So you focus on your grandfather. He is smiling up at you in the reflection. And you do see a vision of you're once more in the room where the sparring match was had between the woman and yourself. This time, you see the woman before you once more, but she is much older. Her features are far more refined. And before you, the moonblade is sheathed and held atop your hands in the same fashion that you're holding it yourself, actually, like on two hands supported on the blade and the hilt. And the sheath blade is offered towards the woman, who you now realize is definitely your grandmother. And she places one hand on the hilt or the scabbard, and slowly lifts it up, and then turns and places it on on one of those sword racks where they're held horizontally. And your vision shifts to occupy the blades point of view, looking out at the at your grandmother and grandfather embracing, and you see that the room is full of these small boxes and crates that have been stuffed, almost preparing for some kind of a move. And as the two embrace, you see your grandfather very slowly turn and look at the sword with almost a longing in his eyes.
So he put it down for family. I wonder how much different the answers would be if I had done all the visions in the proper chronological order. But what is there to do in the vision? Or is it just showing me, not asking?
It is showing you the embrace of the two older elves. Then you see from the doorway another elf appears. You recognize this as your father, who walks up to the two, and then instead of breaking their moment, he also turns and looks at the sword. But his face is not one of longing or even want necessarily, but one of anger. And his hand rests atop his own sword, or on the pommel of his own sword. And a question appears in your mind, asking, do I know when to stop? Now, this would be a very hard question, I think, if you had the coronet of the ram still on.
Yes, with the coronet, it would be actually it would be a simple answer, but it would not be the answer he would want to give. But also, this is not a simple question for Kothar, because a soldier's life is what he is used to by now and what he enjoys living, and battle is also what he enjoys partaking in. Would he be able to stop once all is done and said? Okay, let's see. Yeah, based on what tidbits I've written off his backstory. Yes. Once the need to protect is no longer there, or the time to pass it on arises. But not before.
Okay. Another question pops into your mind, this time asking, when is it time to stop?
When there's nothing left to protect. Or when someone else is worthy of taking up the sword.
You see the essentially the last frame of the vision again, where your father looks at the sword with anger, your grandfather looks at the sword with longing while embracing your grandmother. This time, the blade addresses you directly, saying, "But you always have something to protect." That
May I cut you a moment? Just because you need to switch mics. It keeps.
it's getting scratchy.
Yeah.
I figured I would do that. For now, since I need to lift the desk and everything, I'm gonna switch the microphone on the cam.
Sure. Wee. Let's hear that awesome motor.
There you go.
Oh. Okay.
Actually, let's try this. Skype might not enjoy it, but
Tough shit.
yeah, tough shit. So, the
blade has spoken.
yes, I was distracted by form. Something about
The blade said, "But there is always someone to protect." Or I believe it said, "something to protect."
not always. If you fail, or if those on that you wish to protect is taken from you, there's nothing left to protect. Failure happens.
You see the vision change. You are on like this dark ring in the middle with these like 360 pictures around you of the different visions, showing first in front of you the the battle scene where the wizard tower bursts with hellish flames and the elven captain is lying atop the rubble. Then the black-eyed elf from the very first vision with the moon blade stuck through him, and then the elven woman atop the wagon holding her arm out towards you.
So I'm guessing the sword was forged in the days of Netheril, of Flying Cities, and has since then seen the Second Sundering, and not been wielded against very epic foes since then. Seems this blade is lamenting peace. Then again, why would a tool for killing and protecting not lament that?
That is certainly one way to interpret what the blade is showing you.
Yeah.
The blade is keeping you stuck in the vision, circled by these different images that you had seen before.
Am I free to move?
Yes, you are basically in a circle and you are able to move to these images as you please.
Considering what might befall the region soon, I think it's appropriate to walk to the towers bursting. Because that is the fear currently.
That towers are bursting?
That an invasion might occur and that all might be lost. After all, certainly someone is loose, and he probably won't settle for being happy that he's back alive and go on vacation forever.
Maybe he will. Maybe he will.
That's always the hope.
Maybe he's just now in the Seychelles Islands of Faerun, just drinking a cold one.
Maybe he was just
A
misunderstood.
brewski.
Maybe it was just misunderstood. History is written by the victors, after all.
Exactly.
So you walk up to the image of the towers bursting with magic, and the figure that you had possessed before, your ancestor and a wielder of the Moonblade, turns in the picture, or actually like steps forward so you see him, and then turns so you can see him as he's still embedded inside this picture. And he turns and looks at the body on the rubble and says, His name was Flar Starbrow. He was the finest among us. Yet he, as many others, was cut down.
I'd ask him, what was his choice? I have made my choice in the vision. What was his?
The choice is always different. The blade always takes something from us and gives something to us. If we are deemed worthy. Our family line goes back, well, before the Dale Reckoning. There have only been 5 of us.
5 worthy.
The man nods.
Certainly a picky blade. But then again,
As long.
this blade was forged about 45,000 years ago, I believe.
Probably
Elves
more than
don't
that.
blink that long.
Very
Then-
long-lived elves.
Even by those standards, a elf lives about 600, 700.
Yeah, those are the older elves, yeah.
Yep. Which means that in average, there's probably been
Math.
about 75 generations, I'm guessing. Sounds about right. Out of those, 5 are worthy. That sword, to be crafted for a pure lineage. That's a tricky thing to, well, muster. And there's always new blood introduced.
Mhm.
I'll go to the next vision. Try to do them in chronological order to get the sense of story behind it.
Okay. You step away from the image in front of you of the wizard towers exploding. Then step to the scene with the elven woman. And and again the figure that you had possessed before steps up and then turns to regard you.
Was she a loved one? I'd ask it.
My first and only love.
And the child, your offspring?
My niece.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to tell him. No words for a spirit.
Okay.
Next vision.
He turns back and looks solemnly at the vision of his wife his one love dying in this frozen image, and you step over to the next one, seeing the dark-eyed elf dying before your eyes, his eyes black and the moonblade stuck through him.
Why is his eyes black? Is he demon possessed? Yeah, I'd ask him.
Okay. Instead of answering you, you only see that the eyes slowly clear. You hear a voice go, "He was my brother."
And he wanted the blade.
No. He crafted the blade. You see, and you see over your shoulder, a figure steps up right next to you and looks at the image frozen there. And you turn and look, and you see that it is the black-eyed elf standing there, his arms behind his back and his brow furrowed as he looks at the scene.
So why did he deserve the blade through his chest? What was his crime?
This is the figure with the blade through his chest.
Why does he? What did he do? What did you do, I guess?
Creating a blade such as this requires magic. And in the days when we crafted it, in the days of Great Cormanthor and other elven kingdoms and the Mythal, magic such as this required sacrifice. I did not expect it to be me.
Did you give rise to part of the sentience within the blade.
He smiles and looks at you. I was made the blade. I am the blue flame that strikes when the blade is drawn in anger. I am the one who chooses who wields the blade. I am the one who diminishes each time the blade is picked up.
What will happen once you are gone?
It is not a matter of being gone. It is a matter of them, the others, seizing a place beside me in equal strength, in equal sentience.
This blade must get quite chatty after a good few wielders. Or is it unstable?
He turns to look at the first image you looked at, the one with the wizard towers blowing up, and the man that is still standing there, looking towards the Elven captain. Jesus Christ, my throat really doesn't like me today. He says he was still fine. He was born in the age of Cormentor. He fought against, well, the demons that ended the age of Mithranor. The others, however, they are not the lineage I know.
And those that will come will be less the lineage, you know.
He turns to you and nods. I told this to your father before you, when he was not even your age. He picked up the blade each day, each night.
He is rather desperate to wield it. But for what reason? What does he have that requires such protection?
He does not wish to wield the blade.
Then what does he wish? To dominate it?
No. He wishes to know how to create someone who would be able to wield the blade. He wishes to know how to train someone who is worthy of the Moonblade.
And has he learned that?
He thought he did. Then his one dream was quashed, I believe, by a bugbear.
That's one bad dream.
Where? Dear.
I seem to recall that the cause of death for Kothar's brother was bugbear, right?
Yes, Tarathiel. Fell during the defense of Shilmista from an Ogrelon raid. Same Ogrelon raid that assisted King Elbereth in attaining his rank of king. So that's when he failed the first time. But I am his son. Have you failed twice?
The figure standing beside you looks at you for a moment, then reaches out with his hand, trying to place his palm on your temple.
Yeah, he won't resist.
Okay. He places his palm on your temple, and then brushes over where the magical tattoo is. The service mark. His eyes close for a moment. He thinks, and then he says, that remains to be seen. You appear to fight a powerful foe.
Appear, yes. And he will threaten Shilmista, I believe, if he is left free to reign. I intend to get him before he becomes too powerful to deal with alone or in a group. Shilmista has enough troubles.
You have uncovered much. Your cause is just. But you are not ready.
Then so you deem. But still, try I must.
As each of your lineage eventually will. From here to eternity, until not a single drop of my brother's blood or my blood flow in your veins.
Such is the fate of all things. Time. Even the great and powerful artifacts of old will fade in time.
He gives you a nod and then turns back to the image of the wizard towers, saying, what you are fighting now is as powerful as it appears you have uncovered on your journey. You might even wind up in a similar position as your ancestor here. He fought against the trio Nefarious. He witnessed the fall of Midraenor and Cormanthor. Let us hope that you have better luck in fighting back these tides.
Hopefully I do. And hopefully my able companions will aid me in this endeavor. They have their quirks, but I have belief in them. Well, most of them.
He chuckles, and then takes a step back, and the vision shatters. You are standing back inside your family home, holding the Moonblade. The reflections fade one by one until it's just your grandfather left. He gives you a calm nod and then fades as well.
Time to put it back.
You should have waited a few generations until you did it.
Yes, clearly.
Grandfather, it's too close. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I clearly shouldn't have listened to Arendelle. So yes, reverently, he'll step towards the altar and place the blade back where it should be. For
Okay.
now. That is what he was told after all.
He wasn't told to put it back. He just said that you're not ready.
Yes, I'm not going to carry around the Moonblade that I'm not ready to wield. It's already half killed me. I'm not going to let it finish the job.
Well, it could be on the side just to show off and not touch it. Ever.
No.
You could just walk towards your father and show him the sword, like, hey, I can hold this without dying, kind of.
I'm sure he can too, since he's been doing it every day, more or less.
You lied.
He's still alive, I think.
Nope.
He's
Totally a
undead.
lich.
He could be a lich.
He's an undead.
Yes. Blade is put back in its... on one hand, I feel that the word pedestal also fits. But the rack, for now.
Mantelpiece.
Mental.
Arundel stands a couple of paces away from you. He has his arms crossed. He just looks at you.
He's disappointed in you. You failed.
Well, he's only 5,000 years older than the Blade, so... What does he know? So yeah, I'll step towards him and simply state that I was not considered worthy yet.
He looks at you very sternly for a moment, and then suddenly a huge grin appears on his face. He goes, "Well, there's always tomorrow."
It's always tomorrow. I will not futilely try to bend such a thing to my will just because I have a pressing cause after all.
Arundel disappears.
As he does. I think it's time for a bath. Oh, jump!
Yes.
I need someone to whip with that towel.
You need someone to whip the towel?
Whip with the
Oh,
towel.
yeah, I can do that.
Who is it? Which towel should I bring?
Get the really coarse one.
Oh,
Linen
it is
one.
Stone and metal. I shall get the hardest one. No worries, Kothar.
Yes. So yes,
The master of the towel whip.
Kothar will go have a bath and try to collect himself.
Why does
Enjoy the
Shump sound
distraction
like?
that is Jump.
Why does Shump sound like if he's in the bathroom already?
Don't spy on me, Kalena.
So I'll go around switching the stuff now while you deal with them.
Okay. So, airship squad.
Yay!
You
Upset.
are-
Mercury Squadron 2.
I'm just watching. He's flying it, or at least.
Pretending to.
Yeah.
I'm kind of reading and occasionally looking around.
And the clockwork gnomes are flying it, and you're just like happy passengers telling them.
We are just like the weirdest crew they ever had.
Which is ironic because they've only really had 2 crews and we've consisted in both.
Sure.
So, what is the view that we have from where we are?
From where you are, you can see roughly up to 30 miles
Okay.
from you.
So we can see the forest beneath us.
Yes, there is a large forest looming beneath you.
So at one of those times that she kind of gets up to stretch her muscles, she notices it, and she just tells Werhuthen,
We should stop
Is-
going forward.
is this the place?
Rohathan will lean over the side and be like, think so.
I think I have a plan of how to knock on the door. I got inspired by Nightstone. Do you have a rock on you?
I will pull my boot off and pull out this tiny little pebble that has been stuck in the toe.
Do I have that spell? Do I have that spell? Please tell me that I have that spell. Ah.
You have both
And
gotten used to the continuous sound of a large boulder wedged between the hull and the landing skid, like grinding against the metallic skid with each strong gust of wind.
There's a rock on board?
Yeah. Took a
Why is
piece
there
of
a
the
rock on
library.
Oh!
It's a souvenir from the library.
Rahuthan, can you stop a second the ship? I want to knock.
I will tell the gnomes to stop, which would just be a case of, hey, stop!
And I will then say,
ship.
well, come give me a hand. I don't think I can push this off the ship alone.
The gnomes stop the airship. It floats high above the forest. Did you tell the gnomes to come give you a hand?
No, I told Rahuthan.
Rahuthan? Okay.
Also, he's on the captain place, so.
Yep.
So, Rahuthan, are you coming or staying there?
I will follow you.
All right. I will point towards the rock and say, if we drop it on the forest, someone should notice, and they will know that we come in peace.
That's not how that works.
Yes, we will put a
Dropping
small
things on
note on
people-
it.
Oh. Meta suggested a large note.
Are you thinking they can't read small?
I'm thinking it would be better spotted if it was bigger.
Well, I have just one small problem with that. I don't have a note. But what I can do is put a spell on it to have some writing on it.
That could work.
If only you had...
Here's my question. How are we
Yes.
getting to this rock?
What do you mean? It's on board.
It's stuck between the landing skid and underneath the ship.
All right.
Well, the side of the ship.
Well, you can jump off. I will give you feather fall, and you can try and grab onto it.
Take it down with you.
Do I
That's
have the rope?
If you only had a slightly smaller stone that you could throw at the larger stone to unwedge it.
Well, if you want to go the easy way, sure, we could use a rope.
Or maybe a 10-foot pole.
If only you had a flying shield you could just sit on while you go under and just dislodge it.
That would be too easy.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Don't you know
There are so
Kulena by
many
now?
possibilities for this being, and thus went the aerial Titanic.
I will take what little rope I have.
I have a silk rope.
I have rope. I don't know how long it is, but I have rope.
Probably
I believe
50
it's
foot.
feet.
That's standard.
I will tie it to the railing.
Okay. Make a
Tie
sleight of
some-
hand. Make a sleight of hand or survival check.
I will do a prestidigitation and do this white wiping like toilet paper and just nod at him, like do this to him.
Goodbye.
And then I will take out my shield and just fly next to him. Just
Okay.
Like off the side of the ship. It's just gonna look like, why am I going down if you have the shield?
well, I'm not strong enough to dislodge that.
You can help.
Sure, I can help. I will just.
Wait,
14
are you
dex.
willingly keel hauling yourself?
Slightly.
Well, the airship has stopped, so there's that. Right then.
Don't worry. If you fall, I have the ability to stop you from dying. Not the ability to stop you from falling. You will keep falling, but
Rather than make a strength. Just make an athletics check.
13.
13. Good.
Anna will do this motion of as though she's going down a rope.
While floating down on your shield. Good. Rather than you slide down the rope, not very elegantly, but you get there. And manage to stop on the landing skid. Make
That's what Anna was doing.
Make a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage, considering you've been very hesitant so far on enjoying the heights on the ship.
It's amazing that he actually went down there. I was thinking he would object to that.
Okay,
No.
that's a 9. So you stop at the landing skid and look at the rock, but your eyes instantly focus on the ground.
I can see it.
Far beneath you, and instantly your hands clamp shut or grip the rope with white knuckles.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're not going to help me, I'm guessing.
I'm sure I could be of some help. Somehow.
Moral support.
Before I actually do something useful, Quelena will go next to the rock and do a mage hand and just try to dislodge it with the mage hand.
Nothing
like-
happens.
Just like poke it, move it, try to move it a bit.
A mage hand
I know.
fails
I
to.
said before I do anything
yeah.
useful. Then I will look up at Reherton and say, advice? IDs?
Right on it first.
Sorry, what?
Write on the rock first. Your message that you plan to write before it falls
Right.
would be advice.
Well, I could always go down there and write the message and then come back up.
Which would defeat the purpose of dropping the rock.
You have a point. I will go with the shield just at at an angle that I'm guessing that there's a angle that it will fall that I can kind of guess where it will roll towards the rock.
Yeah.
So I will go on the side of it so it won't fall on me. And then I will try to kind of push it to the side and see how not moving it will be.
Sure. Make an athletics check. Oh, he's typing very loudly
Yes.
with a microphone next to the keyboard.
He likes
Well,
it.
he thought it was push to talk, and he
No, it's actually switched over to the
exactly.
microphone on the web camera, which is currently disabled in my... What? How is this even possible? It's literally disabled in Device
Whoa.
Manager. It shouldn't be
That's
able
an
to.
amazing roll.
That's really good.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
Quelena is kind of taking all her force, kind of. Yeah.
So, Rohan, you're left scratching your head if you could let go of this damned rope, but you can't because you'll fall, or so you think. And as Quelena floats on the shield to the rock and just pushes it off towards the bow of the ship where the landing skid and the hull depart from one another.
Just occurs to me, I forgot to do the spell.
And the rock goes tumbling down through the air.
So, first part of the plan has been complete.
Do I notice that she forgot the spell?
Yeah. It was right after you told her, she kind of pushes the rock off.
That doesn't look like you cast a spell. It looks like you just pushed the rock.
It was actually me as a player that forgot not to think. I would just look down at the rock and kind of wave at it, and then look up at Rohan and say, well, plan B now.
Yep, you're going down there to right on that.
Well, you said
I'm going back up there.
I'm looking up and then just bypassing him flying up and say, well, you can go down. I will come down with the ship. Don't worry, stay there.
I would like to climb back onto the ship before it starts going down.
Okay. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Disadvantage again, yeah?
Yeah.
That's the wrong one.
Well, that's a wisdom check.
Yeah, that's why it was the wrong one. That's not much better.
Great. That's... Wow. That's a crit fail.
You just say, yeah, we'll go up, and then you grab onto it harder.
Yeah. So you let go of the rope so you can get a handhold further up. But as soon as you start unclenching your fists, you feel like you're falling, and you instantly wrap your hands around it again. And you hug the rope against your body.
I can see myself doing this whole thing where you wrap the rope around the wrist as well for extra grip.
Mm-hmm.
I will go to the captain.
I'll stay here.
Good idea.
One of the clockwork gnomes peeks out through the little hatch that works the hatch that the landing skid is going through into the ship so it can be pulled in. And the clockwork gnome waves to you, Rohan, and then starts pulling the landing skid in.
Can I fit in that gap?
No.
Damn.
So I will go to the captain's
I just
spot.
smile at the gnome.
I will get to the captain's spot and then say, we're going down. And just look at the gnomes, kind of check what they're doing as I say that.
Okay. All of the clockwork gnomes suddenly start running around. They check the furnace, then a couple of them climb up into the balloon and check the structural integrity of the balloon, and then climb back down until one of them walks up to you and says something in the gnomish binary language.
Yeah. I will just look at him, blinking a few times, and then just nodding.
Okay.
And then say, okay, let's go down.
Good.
I actually made it out what will happen after I said it, but wanted to play it out.
So, by this point, you have heard a very quiet thud from beneath you, but the gnomes very dutifully start lowering the airship down.
I will kind of yell towards where Rohan is. Are you still there?
Yeah? I'm not going anywhere.
All right, don't worry. We are approaching the rock. You can soon ride on it.
Jump and
I want
Kothar.
his reaction. I want his reaction.
You're the one with the spell, not me. You can't actually see his face. He's just giving you a what the fuck look.
Jump and Kothar. You are suddenly, while in the bath, you're accosted by one of the High Oven scouts running in, and with him is a Wood Elven scout, one of the guards that you would know, Kothar, as being part of Elvarez Rangers, and they start spewing something about a rock being tossed down on the eastern edge of Shilmista, fairly close to the city.
In Elven, right?
Yeah, they're talking in Elven.
I don't know what
Fungasinile. Fungasinile. Yes. Kothar, there's a party going on. We should go.
Shump, may I ask that you stop doing the helicopter while we're trying to communicate with these?
Oh. So, sorry, that would be rude. Yes, of course.
He'll just stop shaking his hips.
But seriously, we should go to that party. It looks like it's lit.
I was about to make a joke about missing balls, but then I remembered that that's another character.
Don't make
These
fun of
are
me,
wrong.
dude.
So,
Get the address. We need to go.
rocks falling from the sky, huh? That doesn't happen
Holy
every
crap!
day.
There's rocks falling from the sky.
He's
And
talking
you
as
guys came to us because you know we have experience with this whole thing that's rocks falling from the sky, right?
Wait, are we talking about the party or is this something else?
Rocks.
You
Ross.
see Arundel peek in through the doorway, and he goes, I told them that you were very friendly with an airship while we were
Wait,
Portal hopping?
wait.
and
This is about the airship?
there was an airship sighted above the forest around the same time that the rock landed. I thought you might have a clue about the culprits.
Anyone happen to see if they had a marking kind of sort of similar to you, this thing here in my forehead?
And mine. And sigils.
Yeah, one of the scouts says, No, I don't. Maybe it is lowering down to the forest, so could be the
What is
case.
he saying?
There's a fairly good chance that it's Kalana and Waherthan coming to join us then. I thought
Why are you
we,
still standing there? Come on, Kothar.
He's already down the hall. And I'm
naked.
guessing by the first... I'm naked, aren't I?
Okay. Yep. So you leave all of your adventuring gear behind in Shelmista City.
Just
Remove all of
bolts.
your equipment, including the magical weapons.
Shit, I forgot something.
I'll be...
He remembers when he's out the gate, just near the two gate guards.
Yeah.
He's just seeing them and then...
You hear a
Oh,
quiet.
crap.
You hear a quiet scream of an elven woman.
He has run the
You've seen it
entire length
before.
of the city, naked, his dick flapping about. And
Yeah, it
didn't
would be like-
realise till he got to the gates.
But we've been here for quite some time now, right? There's been weeks.
Yeah.
Just
You've seen
the
it
end of
before. Get over yourself.
the second week, right?
Yeah. This
The
would
end of
be-
the second week.
Yeah, the end of the second week.
I would have been naked a lot of times.
Yeah, likely.
Morning yoga.
The
Evening
scream
yoga.
is from tearing up the old wounds of the previous trauma.
Yes.
Does
Through
that
the
mean
window
that
of
I
the psychiatrist.
I may have someone to use the ceremony spell on.
Heal them wounds if you land properly. How far am I to retrieving my gear?
It's
You'll
not
probably,
that long a distance.
Kothar will
This is
probably
very
be somewhat
expensive.
dressed by the time you approach.
Yeah, Kothar is already geared up and ready to go by the time you screech down the hall and into your room, Shum.
Where I will be sorting out which magazines I will bring with me.
And
So-
Kothar will
So Lena walks down the hall, and noticing Arundel just like hanging around outside Kothar's room. And she sidestepped past him and into your room, Kothar, and asks, what is this about an airship? And you guys? Is that the same airship I saw at the library?
Quite possibly. Most likely. I have one of those terrifying feelings that it probably is.
Why would your friends drop a rock on the forest?
As I said, I have a very terrible feeling that it's probably them. And
You're not
if you
very
think a rock
smart.
is bad, it's going to get a whole lot worse here. I hope you've written down the testimonies of everyone in the city, because we might be wiped out soon.
I
A pure
see
accident.
I see that Quelena is really being appreciated here.
Yeah,
We are
accidents
being
happen.
realistic in the aeronautical ways.
So, while you're getting ready, Colina and Roherden, you have descended down to roughly the treetops. There is a gap in the trees where you see the boulder has like pierced through and
I will
crashed
kind of say,
directly.
stop.
You hear
And then look
the
at
the furnace blast, and the airship's descent is halted.
Yeah, I will just yell to Roherden, can you reach the rock now?
Roherden, there is a pine tree poking you up the ass.
How far is it from me to the ground?
About 70 feet.
You're
No.
receiving the medieval cleanse.
Maybe try to
Also-
reach out.
There's something poking my ass.
Listen, what you do in your spare time is really none of my business.
You should be used to this.
I will go
After
kind of
going
to
leave
the.
that place,
I will go
probably.
towards where he's hanging and just look down and just ask, what's the hold up?
There's a tree trying to penetrate me, and we're a little too high to reach the rock.
Well, I'm not sure we want to try and go through the trees with the airship.
Could we maybe move so we're away from this tree?
We
And
could,
maybe go up slightly.
but I thought that maybe you can climb it down. Or I can give you a feather fall.
He is already holed up. You need to go up before he can get holed out.
I am currently a Christmas ornament on the tree.
I see.
Not sure what Christmas is.
I'm not sure what that holiday you're speaking of is, but I will
I'm
deal with
inventing
it.
things.
I will. 1 second. I have an idea how to get you dislodged from there.
Oh god.
It's called a lumberjack.
No, there's a bonfire. I think that it will be dislodges it, but I'm not sure that he will be happy about that.
Toasty buns.
Well, I will just say I will just go back to where the captain is and just say well, he's on the side of the ship, right?
Yep.
So I will just tell them to move the ship slightly, like rotate the ship a bit, like 5 degrees towards the left.
Okay. So, yep.
Lefty Lucy.
Okay, so the clockwork gnomes work very quickly to turn the ship a minuscule amount. Roherden, the pine tree is dislodged, and it springs off and wobbles. And
And there's
from
forever
somewhere,
a weird smell from that tree.
there are birds flying off from the trees. From somewhere very very far below you, on the forest floor, you hear this strange screech that sounds like a mix of a bear and an owl.
It's an owl bear.
A what?
An owl bear. You said an owl and a bear, so
Nonsense.
It could be two separate things.
Could be a bear. It could be a bear owl.
That's what I was supposed to say because he said bear and owl.
Which
Could be a
is
bear owl.
could be slightly more. No, actually, that would be kind of small.
So I will yell again to Rohirthan, can you reach the rock now?
Still a little too high, but I'll attempt it. Could you slow my descent?
You still have
yeah,
about 40 feet
don't
of
jump yet.
rope left too.
Don't jump yet. And I will kind of walk quickly towards the edge and just look down and say, are you ready?
No.
I will start untying the rope from where I am. Throwing the featherfall as I go.
Good. So, Rohirthan, you feel this strange tugging at the rope and look up to see Quillena's hands pulling at the knot that you made, untying the rope.
Hold tight.
Please don't untie it.
But I'm already halfway. Come on.
It's already slipping.
I will cast Featherfall on him as he falls.
Okay. Okay,
Well,
good.
we got you down.
So, Rohirthan,
So, how does it plan to get back up?
the rope suddenly gives way and you start falling down, and then instantly this strange cushion of air just kind of pushes up against you, and you start floating down through all of these branches that are sprung down and then whip up, dragging across both of your sides as you descend towards the ground. You see a baffled-looking wood elf on one of the thicker branches, about halfway down, pointing a bow and arrow towards you as you float by. You're still holding on to the rope for dear life.
I just smile at him and like, magic.
Do I see it still, or is he beneath the trees? Beneath the
he's
tree
beneath the canopies now.
Okay.
You can see him from the movement of the branches further down, though.
I will just yell at him. See, told you, no problem.
You win this time.
I will go back to the captain's spot and just tell them to go 10 feet up so the branches won't touch the ship.
Okay. Wouldn't want to.
Won't like it if I scratch the ship, so.
Wouldn't want to scratch the paint.
And then I will kind of look around and try and spot if there's any place that the ship will fit in, that I can land it. If not, then, well, I have a problem.
The best place would be outside the forest. But you are already like close to the edge of the forest as well, so.
How far is it till the edge? I mean, to park it, if I want to park it.
Actually, you dropped Rohirthan off like less than a mile from the edge.
Okay. I will wait a moment just to, and I will just yell at him. Don't forget to write the note.
How am I getting back up?
You have the rope.
You can't hear each other.
Oh, okay. So you just
yelling into the canopy. The wood elf seems confused.
You hear a grumbling from the treetop that sounds like the elven word for bloody dwarf, which you would have become very intimate with, considering the company you keep and other encounters with elves along your life.
Especially in the Ignificant Library recently.
But there the meaning would have been more literal, I guess. Depending on what all you got into during those strange nights of delirium.
interesting.
We shall never know. Blackout drunk, thanks to someone who I didn't know was doing things to my alcohol.
Yeah.
I was just helping you enjoy your time.
Remember, kids, always test your own drinks. Never lose sight of them.
Yep.
Someone will
That's
spike
what I'm
them.
teaching.
Or make them stronger.
So, Rohirden, you reach the ground and look up to see the airship turning towards the east and flying off.
At which moment, in my head, I go, why the fuck did I not think to park that thing at the edge of the forest?
I'm guessing Quinana kind of is thinking about, maybe it would have been a better plan to just land it on the edge. Oh well.
I'm just gonna wait back. I'm gonna look around for the rock that we dropped.
Mm.
And having spotted the wood elf, I'm just gonna wait by the rock.
Okay.
Assuming that some word has been sent to someone.
Alright. Rohirden, you have this strange feeling that you are being watched from like all around, not just from the elf that you saw while you were descending. There are these strange sounds and cracks and pops in the underbrush and in the trees all around you, just kind of echoing at random distances and times.
I would also like to have a weapon ready just in case.
Okay. You're about to defend your rock.
Yes, this is my rock.
Probably like
My dwarf.
50 bows pointed at you.
What he will do the Matrix. He will cut the arrows as they come.
Yeah,
What does that be? Roll 50 d20 plus 3.
Okay, I'm actually curious about what this would be.
Yeah, you don't want to know how much 50 longbows is gonna do in cumulative damage
Come on.
50d8.
on a surprise round.
Come on, tell me. Just
The minimum is 1 for each, so 50 is the minimum.
think. Yeah, it's only like 400.
Yeah, so you
Maximum.
can survive it.
Well, actually, I could survive if they all hit 1.
There's also, most of them probably have dex modifiers to their damage and stuff like that.
Maybe it's
Everything that
all
they're all-
bad elves.
So 1 is probably not going to be the lowest you can get hit by each.
Assuming they all crit fail.
They will all shoot each other.
Full on war going on.
I stood in the middle, everyone misses.
And then you just see elves falling all around you.
It's
Hey,
like
you
It
also
really
not
does
see
protect.
it's like what is Robin Hood Men in Tights, where you just pin to a tree
It's not even a
with
tree,
arrows
it's a boulder.
all around you, making out your outline.
It's the boulder. The boulder looks like a hedgehog with a fucking dwarf shape out of it.
Okay, so
If I could
Rather than-
send a thought, I would just remind
Yep.
you to write the note. But
yeah, Quelena, you find a nice place to set the airship down. Or the
So I
gnomes,
will-
the gnomes do
Yeah.
at least, and they managed to bring the airship down very carefully.
I will kind of just oversee that they do it, and then just point do this to them. And then
Not
just,
approvingly.
yeah, exactly. And look around for a board to go off the ship.
Yeah, two of the clockwork gnomes are already where the gangplank would be pushed down, and they go through the motions of preparing it and then pushing it out, but there's no plank.
I kind of go to one of them and kind of poke it. There's no plank. And then just go around to search for one.
You'd think we would have a spare plank.
Well, that's what I'm searching for. I think that we have somewhere. but
You
Go
don't
figure where
drive
it is.
around with a spare windshield
A spare
We might.
door.
or spare door.
well, it's a ship. Why wouldn't you have two of this?
because
It could
takes a lot of
happen.
room.
Yeah, but it could happen. This thing that it breaks.
Yes.
So-
that's what you have ropes for.
So
I'm not
there
pretending now.
there are repair supplies in the hold, which would include some long planks. They are fairly narrow, however, so they wouldn't really work by themselves as gangplanks, but you could probably make one from a couple of them. Or the gnomes probably would be able to. Or you could fabricate it, I guess.
Yeah. I will just kind of take grab two and just drag it with after me as I go towards the where the gangplank should be,
Okay?
and just lay it down where the gangplank used to be,
Mhm.
and then tell the gnomes, make it into one.
Mending?
I don't think you can mend something that wasn't complete at the beginning.
Nope. You can only restore things with mending.
You could turn the planks back into a tree.
Slowly and surely.
So,
10 years from now, a whole tree.
yeah, so the clockwork gnomes go and fetch some tools and spare parts from below in the hold, and then come up. The forest, the birds scatter again as this sound of electrical drilling machines starts sounding.
I will try to learn that sound and just with prestidigitation try to imitate that sound as minor illusion. Try to imitate that sound as they go, just to see how good I'm going to get at it.
Sure. And as before, it's not an actual automatic drill or anything. It's just their finger like flips over, and there's a screwdriver head there, and they start like slowly drilling manually the screws
It's
in.
like phantom pain from a former firmware where they actually had drills.
Yes.
There's just leftover software.
The sound is there to make it seem like they're working faster than they actually are.
In reality, it takes them 2 hours, but
Yeah. Ruherden, you hear the flapping of birds as they scatter from the trees again. Kothar and Shump, you are being escorted out of Shilmista City and into the forest towards the southeast. Arundel is there with you, as is Selena. You are on horseback once more, having ushered out to figure out what the hell is going on with this airship.
Just in case, Shump, be ready for battle.
Hurry, Kothar, don't speak.
That's
You're
his
riding a
sound when he's
horse.
riding. Yeah, that is
Oh.
his sound when he's riding.
Okay.
Keep in mind, he's riding the old and busted horse.
So he's kicking like crazy to make it move faster.
Yeah. Okay, make an animal handling check.
Crap. Crap.
Okay. The horse bucks and tries to throw you off.
Should I do an athletics or acrobatics check?
Make either.
Make either.
Yes. Athletics or acrobatics. Okay, good.
What is the name of this horse?
all
I
the
don't-
bust.
I don't think a name was ever given to it.
It wasn't. Stop it, horse. That was just,
Think
there was no
only-
damage in there. It was just a little slap.
How
Oh,
much
crap.
hit points ahead? Horse?
No, 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 no.
Okay, so you slap the horse.
Yeah, to make it behave.
So the horse
since
is
it tries
dead.
to buck.
Okay, Good. Make another animal handling check.
Crap.
Okay, good.
It's getting better as time progresses.
So, Kothar, you hear this pained neigh from behind you, and watch as Shump is holding on to the horse as it tries to buck Shump off. Then Shump slaps the horse, and the horse bolts into the forest.
I will find it.
It's at least in the general direction of where he needs to go.
let's hope so.
Roughly.
It will hit the rock before he stops.
Can O'Herthan hear this?
I'm gonna hear like a sound of a thundering horse
And
through
not yet,
brush
you don't.
eventually.
But the pained neigh.
I won't hear
not
that.
yet.
Crap.
You're still pretty far away.
Kothar just and goes for the direction where the
I felt that.
master rider went.
Okay. Arundel is walking beside you, Rohirden, and looks at Chump go, and then just chuckles to himself.
I think you just did an inter-characteristic shift.
Yes, accidentally.
Hmm?
You said
You
Rohirden instead of
said
Shump.
that
Oh,
Arundel was walking
I was
with
like,
O'Herthan.
yeah, sorry. Next to Kothar.
And let me
I knew what
guess,
you meant.
somehow it seems like he's walking calmly, but he's keeping up with the horse.
Yeah. Seems to have a very long stride.
Yes.
So many pictures right now. Life of Brian comes to mind.
School
Yes.
of 20 walks.
I like the Suicide Squad. Effective.
You know what? I'm gonna cast haste on the horse.
Okay,
My horse, that is.
sure. Not Chump's horse.
No, I need slow for that.
Okay.
Hmm.
Hopefully we'll catch up to him in a minute.
Okay, good. You cast haste on your horse. The horse looks at you a little dumbfounded and then is hasted onward to ride after Shump and the old horse. Arundel stays behind with Selena and follows the path.
As I catch up, I'll try to assist Shump in calming down the horse.
Yeah, the horse has stopped about 240 feet away from the main group, and is now panting, exhausted.
You
This bucket is not moving anymore.
might be because you're going in the wrong direction.
I need a new animal. Wait, what? I'm walking in the wrong direction?
Yes.
Damn bucket. Also, I'm calling it bucket.
Bucket.
Yes. Because it will be placed at the stable. Impermanently. Not a word. It will be staying at the stables when I find one.
I paid good money for that horse. Try to treat it kindly.
Good money in what respect? Was there copper involved? No silver, no gold, 3 copper.
Oh, there were quite a lot of gold involved, I can assure you.
For this horse in particular, or was this just a participation prize on top of your other horses?
Let's not bring into question the things I've been mounting lately.
The old horse looks back at you,
player.
Shump, and looks a little insulted.
You know what I mean. You're not in your finest shape. You've been better. I know you've been better.
The
I take
horse,
back everything I said. I love you.
the horse hangs its head and neighs sadly.
He will pet it kindly.
I'm
Giving
sorry,
it,
Bucket. Is it okay if I call you Bucket?
The,
When I place you permanently at the stables, I will make sure that you have food and probably maybe water.
the horse shakes its head and then starts walking again.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll take it all back. Do you want a carrot?
it's a horse, not a rabbit.
Does anyone have carrots?
Have dried
I'm
rations.
sorry, Bucket. I have to disappoint you. I don't have any carrots.
I just look up in the trees and just shout out, carrots? Anyone?
There's no response.
Silly wood elves. We know you're up there. I'll show the way.
I thought you were talking to the pines and the trees.
No.
You hear
I don't talk.
Arundel call out to you. Hey, this way. Where
We're coming.
are you?
We're here, Arundel.
Now, come. Let's go back.
Yeah. Come on, Bucket. Let's go.
You kick it. Horses don't take kindly to being rudely handled, you know?
I'll
They're
try.
kind of like orcs.
I was
Have you
trying
ever-
to be silent in that, but that was rude, and you know it.
But it's true. If you keep
Yeah,
him
well.
around, he won't be very nice to you either.
Even if it is true. Wait, what did you say?
If you kick an orc around, he won't be very nice to you either. So why would you kick a horse?
Are you referring to the head of Grimace? What are you referring to? Kicking an orc around. Let's not dig into deep wounds of the past. Let's just walk.
Yes, I've been wondering for a name for that sport that we might have invented there. Football sounds head. Maybe headball, headfoot, hand egg. Anyways,
It's a person, orc name.
was
Yes, well, he had a name.
You notice that with the lethargy of in the after effects of haste overcoming your horse Kothar, that you are traveling at roughly the same speed as Shump now.
all according to plan.
Crumball.
Slowly, you continue on your way. You eventually catch sight of Arundel and Selena again. And after a very long while, you reach a point where a wood elf stands in the middle of the path and just points into the distance, where you see a dwarf
Rock.
standing beside a large boulder. Well, not so large of a boulder, but like a fairly decent sized boulder.
I have a question though.
It appears to be some sort of a large roof tile brick in nature, or maybe the top of a pillar. There appear to be some sort of carving and sharp edges to it.
I'd just like to ask if he's still holding his rope.
I believe he's holding his weapon actually, defensively.
One hand is holding the boomerangs,
Okay.
And the other?
the rope.
Okay. Either a ship will come by and I'm going to use this rope, or I'm going to use this weapon.
You untied it, not tied it, so.
I tried to help you.
Roheden,
Yes.
you hear the clearing of a throat from behind you.
I turn to see who
Fucking
it is.
first impressions.
You turn to look at a fey creature of some kind, slightly elven features, like extremely beautiful androgynous person with blue skin sitting atop the rock. He has his legs crossed and arms like he's in the thinking man position. He has a fist up on his chin. He's just staring at you.
How tall
Seriously,
is he?
he needs a booklet of erotic, you know. He needs to be reading a novella, just like Kakaki.
How tall is he, you asked?
Yes. Like, actual height, roughly.
Probably
9
around
foot 10.
7 feet. Around that size. He's
Damn, you're
very,
tall.
he's very slender.
Have you seen an elf and a orc? Half orc?
That talk is going so well.
He stares down at you and then disappears.
Good talk.
Fucking elves.
You feel a tap on your shoulder.
I turn to see the tap. Who tapped
Yeah.
my shoulder?
Yeah, you see the extremely tall, somewhat lanky-looking blue-skinned creature standing right behind you. He says, I'm not an elf.
You look similar.
He's blue.
I mean, besides the fact that you're blue, of course. What are you?
That is like me saying that you look like a boulder.
Thank you.
Could you just respond with that when I'm not drinking?
Risham and Kothar, you see in the distance, Arundel has started accosting Rohedden.
Yeah. Jump. Shall we hang back a bit
Yeah.
and just see
Yeah,
what
let's.
happens?
Yeah. Should we just sit down here and just watch?
Well, we gotta be close enough to hear it.
Well, let's move within ear range. Did you bring something to eat? Some snacks, maybe?
No, but I'm sure maybe we can send out a Eniac to find something nearby.
That would be awesome.
Mm.
And let's hope that Arundel is with Herthan as he has been with me and not with you lately, or since we met him.
Mm.
And I guess we just dismount.
Okay,
But
you dismount and...
We're trying to like not be visible to Herthan.
Okay, make stealth checks.
Damn it!
Pink Panther theme plays.
Ta-dang, ta-dang, ta-dang,
Rohedden,
ta-dang, ta-dang,
That was with
ta-dang,
with disadvantage. Can I roll that again?
ta-dang, ta-dang.
Why is that with disadvantage? I have it done normal.
We'll take the first one you rolled, which is the
Ironically,
result
6.
you took. So 8. Rohedden, make a perception check.
Okay. That's persuasion, performance, perception. That's with disadvantage.
What's
That
with
is-
you all rolling with disadvantage? And
Roll
two
two
is
with
was first.
disadvantage.
Still, the roll would have been a 2.
Yeah.
Yep. So
So he can't see me.
so
Can't see anything. There's a tall blue person in front of me.
so Kothar, in front of you, you see Shump stub his toe on a tree stump or a branch, and
Just going like, oh!
yeah, he starts cursing in a hushed voice, and then amazingly, Rohedden doesn't pick up on this strange voice in the forest. Perhaps too occupied by Arundel right in front of him.
He is rather tall. He's blocking a lot of my view.
And your hearing, apparently.
And he's very interesting to look at.
I wonder if he glows in the dark.
Are these
Well, does he glow in the dark?
Are these questions that you voice?
No.
And now he just wants to ask that. I can see it in his face.
I mean, if he did, Arundel would surely become the fucking Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen.
You don't want that.
Okay, I don't want that.
So, Arundel leans down. He actually, he's tall enough that he just kind of doubles over at the waist and looks you in the eyes while, you're, to his waist height. So he's, bent over you, and you have your back to him, but now he's in front of you with his upside-down face, looking directly into your eyes. He goes, which kind of dwarf are you?
I'm a mountain dwarf. From mountains. I didn't actually check where I was from, other than the mountains.
I love it that you said I'm a mountain dwarf from the mountain.
Mountains.
Well,
Plural. More than one.
Yeah.
Well, the clue was in the title. Why are you here, and why have you brought a boulder?
A bit remind me of home.
The boulder was supposed to be dropped with a message attached to it so we could get our friends. You're a little late in returning.
Friends? How does a dwarf have friends?
I use the term loosely.
Ah,
The elf and half-orc I mentioned.
haven't seen him.
Liar.
It's a big forest. Are you sure?
No.
Look, Othar, he's doing it. He's totally doing it. Sorry.
Shump, you see Arundel's head turns and he looks directly at you.
Sorry.
Do I notice him turning to look at Shump?
He looks into the forest. Can't see Shump.
I will follow where he looks.
Okay. You see a large bush that appears to have a strange pair of gaps in it. Roughly where eyes are, but you can't see anyone hiding behind it.
They look like cardboard cutouts.
Kind of.
It's painted.
And I return my gaze to Arundel. Not at all. Not seen them. Are there any more elves in this forest besides him up there, who seem not happy from me falling from the sky?
Arundel looks up to the treetops and he pans the whole canopy as far as he can see, and then looks to you and says, I'm counting at least 29.
Are any of them...
Fell from the sky, you say? That's all. There are no mountains here. How do you just fall from the sky? You
I
couldn't.
was on an airship.
Ah,
My other companion on the airship decided that it would be best that I came down to look. Which is concerning, considering, they can actually fall slowly and have a way to get back to the ship.
You're
I wanted
you're-
to park the car.
dude, where's my car? Left it right here. Erendil looks at you, Rohirden, for a moment, blinking, unmoving, and then goes, "You don't keep very bright company, do you?"
You've noticed then.
At the moment, what Quilana is doing is imitating the gnomes with prestidigitation a lot. So yeah, at the moment, if you had this side scene of just looking at what is happening on the
Yeah.
ship,
Lots of
the
odd
gnomes
noises.
are actually done at this point,
oh.
but they're just humoring you since you keep making the noises.
They seem to enjoy the game.
Yeah.
Quilana will probably be laughing her ass off doing that. After about 10 minutes, she will stop, but for 10 minutes, she will enjoy it. Her little game with the gnomes.
Okay. Then the plank goes down
Yeah,
off the side.
I will wait.
Kothar eventually steps out of the shadows.
Okay. As soon as Kothar steps out from the underbrush, Erendil disappears.
Do I notice Kothar?
I'm guessing Kothar doesn't make himself hard to be seen, so... Yeah.
It's just standing there doing like this.
He's also wearing very bright blue robes, I believe.
Good point.
Neon blue.
Yeah, and you see Niniak sitting on his shoulder, just tilting his head at you
You see Niniak waving a little bit.
with the tip of his tail.
From the other
Oh.
side.
Oh, hello, Kothar.
You heard them.
You took your time.
It's hardly been 2 weeks. Did you miss me that badly, or was it too horrible being with Quilana alone?
Off.
In Kothar, you hear a very familiar voice call, say, like right next to you, say, he fell from the sky.
Yes, dwarves tend to do that a lot.
I have never heard of flying dwarves.
Dwarves aren't so much flying as they're falling. They're practicing flying, but they keep failing.
I should find these dwarves somewhere and teach them how to make an aeroplane. Aeroplane, I believe it is called.
I do believe they prefer airships. Kind of a mix between the old and the new.
But they like metalworking. Although I believe that might be more gnomish in style. Ah, well. They're
Depends.
lost.
The finer metalworking is more gnomish in style.
Rohirden,
Rohirden's
you see Kothar kind of like talking with nothing.
I will just assume he's talking with Ninyak,
Okay.
since I've seen him do this before.
True.
Ninyak looks slightly quizzical.
So, where's I'm gonna look at the boulder. Like, did you turn the ship into a boulder?
I turn to look at the boulder and inspect it. I'm like, no, I think that's part of the library.
That does look kind of familiar.
How is the ship?
The ship's
He will emerge.
off, and I point towards the general direction of where I last seen Quilena turning the ship towards.
You let Quilana fly the ship alone.
Not by choice. I was trying to dislodge the rock, and dwarves and heights don't mix.
She pushed you.
She untied the rope.
Yeah, basically the same thing. Damn it.
She at
She's
least
probably,
cast Snowfall.
It's probably halfway back to the library by now, I guess.
I
Do you
didn't
think she
think
would
of that.
return to the scene of the crime? Where does she hail from? We shall wipe out her entire lineage.
I don't think she was done reading, so she might head back to the library, but I would check the edge of the forest first. We were discussing landing somewhere on her radio.
Yeah, that would be logical, actually, when I think about it. We should postpone the wipeout of the lineage until we see if she parked on the edge of the rope. The forest.
On the edge.
She's not parked. I have the edge of the rope. She is
That
not
would be
there,
awesome,
I can
though, if you
tell
saw
you
the
that.
rope just snaking itself through the forest.
I would need a longer rope.
To be honest, I
It's
saved
kind
you
of hard to
the
disguise.
I saved you the
Although-
walk.
Say, Arendelle, would you mind joining us for the walk to the edge of the forest? You get to see a bona fide skyship. It's not as grand as a Haruan one, but it's an airship.
Or do you think you can just sap us to it? I mean, I've heard rumors.
Question: did Chump actually walk out of the bush?
Yes,
he's
he
tracking
will
from
be,
within the bush.
but he would stop as he's asked about the ship, so you just see the bush kind of vibrate. But then he would emerge.
And I have no idea who Arendelle is
Mhm.
yet.
Kothar calls out to someone called Arendelle. There is no response.
He does that a lot. Like,
Yeah,
90% of the time he does that.
he does that.
It's like a high five. He just lets you hang. Just like this. Look, look, look.
Yeah, Shumpy, you feel a slight tap on your hand.
Well, that didn't count. But usually he lets you hang. Also, he's invisible and walks. He's everywhere, basically. He's almost omniscient. He's creepy. Sorry, Arendelle, you kind of are.
Have you guys been eating any exotic mushrooms?
Yeah. What does that have to do with anything? I mean, we're in a forest. There's parties.
I'm pretty sure I know which mushrooms are safe to eat.
He does. He didn't tell me. I was at a gentleman's club. I won property and gold.
Cool.
There
Where?
was. Then I heard of a party and rocks falling from the sky. And there you are, standing on a rock that fell from the sky. But there's no party.
Kothar will look up to the trees and just shout, "If we leave for the edge of the forest, will we be allowed back into Shilmista?"
Good call.
Shoot an arrow once into the ground in front of me for yes, shoot twice for no.
You see
3 for maybe.
You see 10 of them. Just
4 for phone a friend.
Yes? No? Do I need to start scorching trees? Wood elves.
These are a creepy bunch. The silent type.
I look at Selena and like,
She's still mounted, holding the reins of the other 2 horses. She rides up.
you finish in Shilmista, or do you want to risk not being able to be let back in?
I believe I am mostly done with what I can find out. I would rather leave while I still can.
Reasonable enough. To the edge of this forest then. Let's see if your faith in Kalana is not misplaced.
By the way, Worth and Kothar totally got laid.
Selena looks at you, Kothar, with an accusing look.
Oh no, he didn't tell me, Selena. It was the interaction between you that I picked up on. You little lovebirds, you.
I think we were too loud.
She just
For me, it
shakes her.
wasn't loud enough.
She just shakes her head and rides past you.
Kothar just shrugs.
Also, Herthan, Kothar is quite the player.
And then he's just gonna. You'll just start riding towards the edge of the forest with the others.
No. Selena
You're
is
walking.
leading the horses.
You have no horses now.
I don't have any horses. I'll follow Selena while I'm smirking very creepily at her.
She's riding ahead, leaving a trail of horse shit.
Selena, I gave you permission to slap him.
But not like you slapped him, because that would be inappropriate. And not vengeful.
Champ, you feel this strange touch on your head. Almost like someone massaging your scalp while you're walking.
That actually feels kind of good. Arundel, is that you?
Knowing that I know there's at least one elf, I'll apologise for the boulder as I'm walking. It's like,
Just leave this.
sorry
here.
about the rock.
You can
You can
keep
keep it.
Another paper airplane IOU.
Are you sure you don't want to take back the rock to the library?
No, but this is like a bona fide art piece from the Edificant Library in Shalista Forest.
It's an art installation.
Exactly.
Yeah. In a couple
Brought
of
to
years,
you
there's going to
by
be a
the
small
Adventuring
bronze
Bros.
plaque that says Shield Vista was the Significant Library was here.
The
While we're walking.
Adventuring Bros.
Well, we'll come back to that.
While we're walking, I'd ask for her then. So how much do we owe the Edificant Library? Is it still standing?
Did they
Most
see
of-
you?
Mostly.
Mostly still standing. I think we only took out the parking section for airships and maybe a roof or two below.
The tallest tower, you mean?
Just
You
the
took
top
out the
of it.
tallest tower, the one thing that everyone sees from a distance.
Just the tip.
You know when
That's what she said. I like it.
You know when the two people that had any experience piloting it purposely left you? You don't think that was a sign that you shouldn't take that out on your own?
The gnome's done most of the work.
By the way, did you see two guys on a mountain some ways back? Because you dropped the gangplank, didn't you?
I didn't notice the gangplank was missing.
No, it fell out above the sky. Like, just above the cloud, you dropped the gangplank. And I believe there was someone shouting at you, but maybe they was too far away. But you
Right.
dropped the gangplank, didn't you?
Thought I heard an
Rohan,
annoying buzzing noise.
you wouldn't know since you were inside reading the manual or searching for the manual at that time. But you did hear the croaking of the toad, kind of.
I
No.
also tried the
I
clicking toad.
was at that point. I was atop, supposed to be guiding the ship, most reading.
Yeah,
I would have
reading,
heard the-
reading is good, but you should be reading before you drive it.
Our flying style is more relaxed than your style.
I would like to give Chump an accusatory look. They'd be like, "You were reading whilst you were driving it."
Yeah, but, you know, being that
No.
I did it first, I have experience and wisdom from that. And so I can give advice for what not to do.
I would just like to.
You could have
point
given us
out
that
the
advice
word
beforehand.
wisdom.
I did not know you would take it out and take half of the tower of the Edificant Library
It
with
wasn't
you to the
half.
Shalista Forest.
Wasn't
It was
half.
just the tip. Okay.
It was
Quelena,
like less than 2% of the tower.
you hear this arguing bickering sound approaching you from the forest.
All right, 1 second. In order to greet my visitors, because Quilena will guess that it's either Reherthan or the elves that come to greet her. So she will do a create bonfire
Okay.
and do a minor illusion of a gnome just sitting right beside the bonfire.
Okay.
And then and I will keep sitting on my ship, just looking on the scene. If I need to renew it, I will just keep renewing it as it goes.
Sure. Okay. So, the first one out of the forest is Selena, who rides up and then stops at the edge. Then shortly thereafter, the trio arrives, still bickering about flying the airship. You see a large bonfire that immediately catches your attention, and there appears to be a gnome sitting beside it.
Chump will immediately stop and just stare at it.
Well, that's one fucking thing I didn't miss. I guess Kalena is on that ship. She did not run away. The gnomes are still there. Kick the gnomes, Elena.
Chump, you notice that there are scratch marks on the bow of the ship.
I run through the scratch marks just to look at it like.
Yeah, the wooden surface has been scratched up, and there are these tiny rock pieces like stuck in the middle. And you notice from the color that this is probably some remnants from the ceiling of the edificant library.
I would just like to point out I didn't yet lower the gangplank.
Mm-hmm.
Because you dropped it several miles above the ground.
No, they built a new one.
Well, yeah.
But they don't know that.
Yeah.
And I don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Kalena, are you up there?
I will just wave at him, just not saying anything.
Do you have any idea how many treatments this takes? We will probably have to dismantle the whole thing and replace it to get rid of those scraps.
I can help you with that.
Don't you dare bring magic into this.
This
is hard labor. This is muscles and sweat and blood and irritation. This is like building furniture.
I'd rather not do the muscle thing. I leave that to you.
Chump, Chump, you hear right beside you, Arundel just whisper, I think that'll buff out.
Do you? How many ships do you have down in the Feywild, Arundel? Sorry for asking. None, I bet. How do you know that this will just buff out?
Arundel pops into existence and looks at you, Chump, says, you're right, I have none this small. Then he disappears again.
As he pops in for a moment, I will just say, hi!
You can see it because this is like down right in front of the
I will just say hi when I
see
see Arundel just to pop in.
No, but he's under the hull.
Yeah.
Like you were
Yeah.
there, and we're experiencing the damage.
Yeah,
That
they're like
much?
kind of beneath the ship. They can't.
Beneath the bow.
I'll keep
Arundel.
sitting and watching the place.
Kothar? I don't know what we're gonna do here. I mean, this is... I can't even. Okay, I can't even. I don't know what to do
It's too late
here.
to just go back to Shilmista and leave all this.
Could we? Are we even allowed back in to the forest right now?
I don't know.
I walk up
I
and
mean,
peel the pebbles out of the ship hull.
Sure. It only makes the damage more noticeable. Now there's like holes.
Those can be
So
filled in.
Chump will just sit down at the bonfire and just stare at the gnome and throw a pebble at it.
At that moment, I will stop the bonfire. Stop concentrating on the bonfire.
So he'll just sit like this.
It was
look
nice
into the
and
graph.
warm for just a brief second.
He literally just sits down, bonfire gone.
Damn it.
Your pebble goes through the gnome, and the gnome just keeps staring at you.
You wouldn't understand, gnome. What we've been through. I won a property, goddammit.
I will
Better come
make the
back
gnome
to-
blush.
The
You
gnome
make the gnome
blushes.
what?
Blush.
Blush.
I don't think you can understand, even though you're clearly emotionally attached to this. There's
Kothar
manual
walks up to
paper.
the ship, and Misty steps on to the ship.
Okay.
That's just cheating.
I follow his lead and Misty step onto the ship as well.
Shump
So
will
then
just
turn
take out
to
the
Shump
toad
and say,
and throw it because there's probably just bones and guts hanging all over the place.
I believe it exploded in your hand the last time.
That was because it was bloated, right?
That was because it was bloated, decomposing, and the mountain air chilled the surface until it became brittle.
So
So-
the parts of the skin that was still attached, he put back into the pocket, and then when
Okay,
those
so
melted,
so you take it out, and there's just this flap of skin.
yeah, probably maybe some bone if the skin is still wrapped around it. But that would be probably it. And then he will think to himself,
I need to make the gnomes make me a metal box with 3 buttons on it. Because that wouldn't explode. Fuck my life.
and he will just sit there and pout.
Well,
You
since-
feel a touch on your shoulder, Shump, and the hands begin to massage your shoulders while Arundel's voice goes, shouldn't you be climbing onto the ship?
What's the point? Is it even flyable? Arundel, have you seen the shape of it?
It'll buff out.
It doesn't just buff. Isadora will see the cracks and holes and fucking paint job that's missing.
Can I hear what he's saying?
Can
Probably bonfire distance isn't that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They-
So,
if you
so-
listen closely, then yeah.
Yeah, I'm still sitting there. I mean, I haven't moved from my spot, so I will just do a minor illusion of a hole on the ship, a big hole, like the maximum size that I can of the minor illusion.
Well, like
just-
a 5 foot.
Yeah,
5 foot
just
hole.
a 5 foot hole just in the ship that you can kind of see into the ship. And
If
then
you
I will
knew
just
Arundel, how much more?
Then he'll just hang with his head and doesn't know what to do.
once I see that he already noticed it, I will just stop it. Just
Okay.
sit there and
He won't notice it. He's just depressed as fuck right now.
Arundel says, There's no hole in the ship. Should be fine.
Well, clearly you have a touch of the Feywild sickness about you. Because I said it before and I say it again, I don't even. Okay.
And he'll try to just climb up on the ship
Okay.
can he?
while he's mumbling to himself.
He's adorable. Never take me now. Never.
Can he actually
I'm
climb
unworthy.
it without?
He will try.
Well, Kothar is standing there, like hands on his back and looking around and looking at Kulana, and sees him walking towards the ship and ties a knot. He doesn't know where that there is a second plank or anything, or if it's even on deck. So
I would
He
like to
ties
point
a
out
knot.
it's just beside Quelena. Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, you could have noticed it.
Could have been anything. Could be
Yep.
just a stick.
Plank.
Alana could
Plank.
just be fucking around with wood again.
It could be an illusion.
That it could be.
Yes, he'll just tie down his silk rope and walk over to Qualana.
I will just say to Kurohuthan, it looks so. I have memories of that. It's a deja vu of a rope attached to the ship.
Don't untie this one. Or do. Either way.
Selena shouts from below, calling out to you. Hey, what do you want to do with the horse?
I will kind
The
of.
old one
take
is still
One of them.
the old one is still yours.
I will look at the plank and then look at the horse and say, "Is that our horse?"
Technically.
I will.
The old one is.
That's Bucket, right?
I will tell as Champ is climbing the rope. I will tell him, "Could you lower the plank so she can climb?"
To the gnomes.
Can I try to just take them with me over the back? While I
Of
climb?
course.
Not a
And
horse,
and
no.
Goliath.
Not a horse, no.
No, I can't take a horse. Can I
You can
pull the horse up by the rope?
you can try and carry the horse, but it's gonna be one mighty athletics check.
Well, Goliaths have that whole counting as one size larger when it comes to carrying and such. Riding horse, a draft horse, is
that's
just
the
hard.
first time it's been on
Oof.
20.
That's a 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
You try and hoist Bucket onto your shoulders, and it neighs and kicks you in the balls, and then jumps off.
Yeah, I don't know. Kozar, do we need Bucket?
Well, if
Well,
only
that's
we had a
easier.
gangplank.
Yeah, where's the gangplank? Coletta.
I will point towards the plank right beside me.
Where's the original gangplank? Coletta.
I believe it's above on the mountain somewhere.
Yeah.
And what's it doing there?
We were trying to test if a gangplank can reach the earth. It didn't.
Somewhere there's a few kobolds just looking at this plank that just standing around.
It's like in 2001 Space Odyssey where a couple of kobolds are just smashing bones with another bone, and then the gangplank just smashes into the ground like this huge obelisk.
Did it?
And then they start worshipping it.
One of them invents fire.
Yeah.
I will then just
It becomes
look
an
at.
altar.
I would just like to look at Champ as he climbs, and just do a minor illusion of a small frog on his head, and just keep at it, looking at him as he climbs.
Okay.
By joy and fun.
Can we lower the gangplank now?
I already
Sure,
told you
sure.
what the gangplank is.
You may whenever you wish. Jump is about halfway up the rope.
It needs to be down for the horse anyways. Rarthan, will you help?
I'll help him lower the gangplank.
Okay.
Much appreciated.
Jump, you place your hand on the railing of the ship and pull yourself up roughly at the same time as you look to your side and see this gangplank stick out and then fall down on the ground like at an angle so one can climb up on the ship.
You won't be thinking that the gangplank is down, but it will be like,
I told you to do that.
and he'll just keep on climbing up to the ship.
Okay, you climb up on the ship. Selena rides up to the gangplank and waits there.
Would you like to come
down.
up?
I will ride south. Just collect your horse, please.
Gotha will go down and meet her.
Okay.
Well,
I will.
this is what I have to hopefully rescue the region from an evil tyrant. I hope you'll pray for us.
She like laughs. Just, yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
I will just tell her, don't worry, I will help him.
I will be going to the Border Kingdoms, and now that I know that this group is going to try and save this region, I will keep going south.
That's probably for the best.
You may find me there if you live and wish
Long
to
enough.
find a place to stay. You'll find me somewhere.
Yes. Keep
Not
the
in the
rules.
jungles, though. Not in the jungle.
Jungles are too moist.
What race is she?
Yeah.
Yes, she's she would be a sun elf.
I'll just wave her, like, I will do a prestidigitation just of another toilet paper and just wave at her with the toilet paper.
Okay.
Sun Elf is under the High Elf umbrella, by the way, so
Yeah.
you would consider her an equal, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I'm waving at her. If not, I would just ignore her.
With the toilet paper, nonetheless.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
And
Two-ply.
then after I
Quality stuff.
see her start moving away, I will get up and find my constant spot where I used to sleep and do all my stuff, and just put again my ritual casting of a bubble,
Okay. What color are you
which
making this
I've
time?
gotten very good at. I mean, I've been doing that in the library forever now.
Yeah. What color are you making this time?
For Champ especially, I will make it his favorite color. I will make it pink with white dots on it.
Nice touch.
And the only one that will be able to pass through it will be Rohirthan.
Okay.
I'll just surprise him.
We're going to stay at the bottom end of the plank with the horse for a while. Just patting Niniak and looking towards the forest, up at the ship, towards the forest. And just...
Selena,
goes up.
yeah. While you're doing that, Selena rides off towards the south, leading the second young horse with her. As you turn and head up the gangplank, you hear Arundel's voice go, it'll be interesting at least, right?
That I can be assured of. You sure you don't want to tag along?
He looks up at the pink and white bubble and then looks back to you and says, no.
I don't
I
blame
see
you.
enough weird shit in the Feywild. And then he starts walking back into the forest.
If you happen to see my mother, give her my warmest blessings.
Gives you a thumbs up. I'll give her Chump's best too.
I'm sure
Chump will
she'll
turn
appreciate
around
it.
and just,
Hey, Arundel.
then he'll just go find a chair somewhere and just pout.
Do we have chairs?
Arundel responds to you. Chump goes, I don't think you should be making that kind of a hand sign. Kind of not cool.
Sorry, it was meant in respect. You're a cool dude in a weird, creepy-ass way. Maybe we'll see each other one day.
I hope not.
Same.
He walks off into the forest.
We have this thing.
Good.
Mm.
Kothar, you lead your horse up on the ship and then down into the hold where you once held the other horses.
Saranel's probably there.
Yep, it's the only one that's there.
Ceronial
Actually,
seems overjoyed that someone has come
come to
down
this.
there for a change.
For a change.
I was visiting during that week of drunken fuckery.
Visiting
Ben?
or reporting?
Both.
You conjugal visit?
No.
It was the only place you could be safe.
Yeah, not to continue the adventures.
I will kind of pop my head out from the bubble and ask Champ, do you want a drink?
Do you have some?
I could make some if you have some water. I'm missing some water for it.
I'm good, thanks.
I just look at Quilena and smile.
And then I then look at Kothar and ask, what about you?
I have water. I'm fine.
I will pop my head back down and just go back to my buttons, counting them. It has been a while since I did that, so need to check.
Yes, a few hours, I'm guessing. So, what did you learn at the library?
Who are you asking? I'm not sure. Who are you?
I'm sure you can
Everyone.
hear me inside the bubble, so
Depends if I let the noise go. I will just pop my head back out. Said something?
what did you learn at the Edificant Library?
Quite a few things.
You had a job to do, after all.
Yeah, Rohuthan did that.
Why am I not surprised you pawned it off on him?
Well, you gave me to pay for the parking, so I thought that he would like to do something else.
I at least got the job done. I should have the map on me.
And this is why I didn't leave Shump and Quelana there.
Because you have to do someone at least semi-competent.
Yes.
Well, I learned other stuff.
I'll take the map out and take it to Lothar and show him
Okay.
what little detail we have on the map.
So, a full recap of what they learned.
Yes.
Is this the part where we quiz Rohuthan's
No.
brain?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I will do this and create myself a chair on the edge of the bubble and just look at them.
Where are my notes?
I'm not sure. Where did you keep your notes?
I did not write down notes. I failed.
Well then.
That's not what I'm looking for. Actually, I didn't even add the fucking map to my inventory.
That reminds money to remove the Feywild Rose. Should not be in my inventory. When Rohuthan, you'll notice that for all his bravado, Kothar doesn't seem to be 100%. There's like a few drops of dried blood from his ear canals, as if something has taken a heavy toll on his brain, literally.
I will probably notice this and ask if you want to rest first.
I'm not sure I feel comfortable letting you guys handle the ship.
If Shump could take some time to stop sulking about the ship and fly, we should be fine.
I
I
could,
could fly it.
but
No.
Up until now, it's basically been a lot of luck because I have -1 on the wisdom. Just saying, it's been very lucky up until now. So I could sulk if other people would try their luck.
Well, before we know where to go, we should find out this information bit.
Yeah, opposite. Okay.
take it away.
So
I don't know where to go.
So you have the information you gleaned from the globe, which pointed to 3 locations: the old watchtower and these 2 crosses, one of which we explored in the other adventure, which would be this one. But the party doesn't know that. Leaving these 2. Then...
Well, leaving 1 technically, but...
Yes. You gained some knowledge about the warlord. You now know that his name is Mordrain, and he was a human warlord who conquered the region, united it, and he was told to have succumbed to demonic powers long ago, which resulted in his ultimate doom when people under him decided to rebel. He was told to wear a mask that looks like a human skull. What else?
What else?
Aside from that, you also have extra knowledge about Estril, the wizard who was buried near Nightstone. He was one of 3 who claimed a section of Arnaden, which was the region that Mordrain had conquered and ruled over. And he also took one of the coronets that made a triple crown as his own. There would be 2 others who also took sections of Arnaden as their own. You know the location of 1 crown, in addition to the ram. You have felt it last in Mintar. The 3rd one you have not felt. I believe you felt that in Mintar it was the lion, I believe.
Not the one that we saw in the other campaign, the mini one.
No. The other campaign was regarding the dragon coronet, and that you have not seen any side of, even in the other adventure. It was missing then.
So the question then becomes, do we want to check out these locations, or do we want to try to...
I will relay... I would tell him about the vision as well, from touching the orb. Which was, I seen a group outside of a tower.
Well, we can try to chase after the coronets, or we can visit the locations.
There is also a 4th option.
Does it involve illusionary gnomes?
Maybe on the way there.
Or any gnomish settlements.
No, not for now. At least I don't think it's a gnomish settlement. I was thinking that maybe we should gather some power before we go deal with it. I have an idea of a place that holds great magic that could help us.
Is there things there that can be killed because I need to kill something to become stronger?
I just look at Champ and then just look back at Kothar and Rohirthan.
I feel the urge to kill.
Well,
Something.
Elaborate.
Well, I was doing some research about magic, and I've stumbled upon some very interesting, very intricate magic. that I don't know yet the potential of it, but if I read it right, it might hold the key to defeating the warlord.
That's a very far-fetched promise.
Well,
But knowing you, the idea of defeating him is to drive him insane with illusions, so I'm kind of hesitant.
I'm what? Sorry, I didn't hear because someone just coughed into a microphone.
I'm kind of hesitant to...
It's not illusion magic that I'm seeking there. It's a very potent magic that I read that wasn't used often in history, but it might be there might still be someone that remains there that knows of it. What was that?
That was a very interesting moment.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, I know.
Okay, so yeah. For a moment there, I thought it was a Latina moan.
No.
You sure, Sep? She's not under the desk?
The smile afterwards, though.
Well, let's call it a vote.
Mm-hmm. What do we want to vote for first?
What's she doing?
You don't want to know. She's amusing herself.
Don't get us
Playing
banned, Shay.
Monopoly? Playing Monopoly?
Yes.
Mikado?
Go on.
Anyways. I'm waiting for Kothar to decide what we vote on.
First vote is for checking out the 3 locations mentioned. Second vote is for chasing after the coronets. I can ping him after all. Or third option, Quilana's power of sorts that she wants to look after.
So, option 1, we go to the markers on the map. Option 2, we chase the grounds. Option 3, Quilana's magical mystery tour.
Ancient
Yes.
magic, supposedly.
Yes.
Ancient magical mysteries.
Powerful
Sure.
magic.
Last time we followed Kalena's, let's say, spontaneous outburst. A piece of the Edificant Library ended up as an art installment inside of the Shalmista Forest.
First of all, you didn't follow me.
No, we are talking in a narrative kind of way, in the bigger picture kind of way. We only know that your idea entered a loop of unfortunate disasters for a bunch of librarians at the Edificant Library, which ended up in an almost decapitation of a wood elf on watch in this Shalmista Forest. That was a
we came to
fucking
save
hard
you.
sentence to say.
We came to save you.
Yes, I appreciate that. And the scratches and bulks and big ass holes in the fucking hull.
Holes?
Wait.
I didn't see any
I'm
holes.
just silently
To me,
waiting. Yeah.
they are holes.
I'm just silently waiting for Shump to stop his rant. Like,
You came to save us
We did.
from...
He was getting laid, and I got a property in a card game.
See? It's good that we came.
No. We were enjoying ourselves quite well.
Well, I thought that you wanted to save the world.
We were,
No.
albeit it's nice to have a little relaxation and R&R with creepy bluish guys running around the bathrooms.
I'm happy that you both found the time to relax while we were busy doing some very elaborate research.
I
We
was
went to the Feywild. Also, we were almost having a towel whip off.
I jump. Hold on.
Yes.
Creepy blue guy.
Everyone
Know
know.
him.
Of course we know him. He's a bud of a creepy persuasion.
That lying bastard.
What? Oh yeah, he does that a lot. He's weird. He's Feywildish.
Were you in that hedge that whole fucking time?
I might have been. It was Kothar's idea if I was. Okay, maybe it was a mutual idea.
I do believe we have a fourth option on the table.
Bring it.
We can go see the land you own.
We can go and see my castle land government country. Right outside Saradush.
Just how far is that?
It's not that far, actually. Theo, why did you... Oh yeah, that Longrot Grove, it actually has a little ping on the map too now. It's named right there. I live in the mountains. Just a few miles from a river.
In the desert.
I live down south.
Just
Well,
a few miles from a river?
No, it means the other
Yeah.
river. Yeah, 57
Exactly.
miles. It's a morning walk to the river.
It's okay. He only lives 150 miles from another river.
I hope they have installed a well. Or
I'm
at least a
guessing,
little
I'm
repository.
guessing the commercial for this property just beside the river.
What's
It
in
will be one
Saradush?
shot.
It's underlooking the mountain. I'm sure it's awesome.
Underlooking the mountain. Okay.
Glorious
what-
scenic views.
What kind of place is Saradush?
It is a...
Formidable place.
It's a large city, a metropolis actually, belonging to Tether, actually.
So mainly humans.
Mostly humans, yeah. It is dominated by
Welcome to
humans.
Saradush. We have all that your heart desires.
Why would we want to go there? It's my character, by the way, that I'm saying it.
Just putting it on the
For
table.
me to rule Faerun with a soft iron fist, I need to own land. Saradush or Longrot Grove is the beginning of that dream.
One moment. Do you have a castle on that land?
Probably, I don't know yet. But it is the vacation retreat of me and my loved one, Lady Isadora, which you have probably met. It will be the place where our children would grow up in the summer times.
You mean that child in
She
Nightstone?
is ripe. Medieval speaking.
I will just turn my just look around with my eyes and then just look back at Trump and say, and what exactly are we planning to do once we see your land?
Gaze upon it in huge amazement, of course. It's
So
huge.
you want to travel a few days towards there to see the land?
Kothar, where do you think the nearest coronet is?
Last I checked, it was a Mintar, but I would have to don it to find out where it is.
Now, where would we have to go that way? Either way, it would be a small, a minor detour, but we could stop for rations if I have any rations. There.
Yeah, if you have even anything there. Are you going to rename the place?
We have to see what it looks like. Maybe it will just become Longrot Grove. Maybe it's Bloodlim Valley, or maybe it's just Face Crush Cove.
Often would imply it's by the sea.
Well, it is kind of by the sea. It's on the same continent.
Yes.
Fair enough.
It's huge, believe me. I guarantee you it's huge.
So there are the options. I'm going to hold my boat until I see which way the doom is leaning.
We need to find the coronet to kill the warlord and take over the land so that I can impress Lady Isadora.
All right. So who votes on option number 1? What is option number 1? I don't really remember.
Option number 1 is the coronet.
Categorized them yet.
The coronet.
Option
Okay.
number 1 was actually going to the locations, the two X's we haven't been at.
Choose the coronets.
Quilena will raise her hand.
Go on, Kalena.
No, it's she's voting,
For option number 1, which would be the locations.
and she will look at you and say, "Go on where? We're still trying to vote, champ."
Oh yeah, that was that. What was number 1 again? Reaching the 4 X's on the map.
Yes, the 3.
3 X's. Although
If
one of
we
them I
do
believe
so.
we've already visited.
Yes. If we do, could we swing by Nightstone? I forgot
No.
something. Okay. Is there any gentleman clubs on the way where I could win more property, which would be located that direction?
Likely
I
in
will just,
Sardush.
There
Quilena
used
will
to be
just,
one in Blacktown Stronghold.
I will just do this minor illusion of a throw up on the floor, just underneath Champ.
What happens if I wiggle my foot in that throw up? It's like
Illusion.
You see your foot going through it, and it's slightly translucent.
Yeah.
you see my foot going through it, and then it's slightly.
Translucent to you.
I see. So it doesn't disappear. You have gained little control of your illusions then.
Actually, it was Theo that did the mistake.
Yep. But we rolled with it for a long time,
Yeah.
so.
It's okay.
Yeah. So, Roherthan, what do you want to vote?
I would vote going to the locations.
So we have 2 for that. Shump.
I am torn. Almost like torn would. No, that is horrible. I want to go to an establishment where I can win more property to the east of the country. Basically, that would mean I could go to the X's, where we have to find coronets. Sure, no problem. But we should visit Nightstone or Longrot Grove on the way, back or forth. That doesn't matter, as long as we do it, and also kill some people along the way.
Well,
look.
If we go straight to this, and then check this, and then we report back to Crambo and Nightstone, then we can go check on Longrot Grove.
We could actually go
You will just go up to the helm and.
Nightstone, Mintar, Longrock Grove.
That works too.
Mintar being for checking the coronet as well.
It's a good as
If
plan
it's
as
still
any.
there.
I don't think any of us dare go back to the library just yet.
We will give the library
weird,
a
probably.
reasonably wide berth on the way to the X, I'd say.
We should probably have a bit fuller pockets before we go back there.
Yeah.
I'm
Probably
guessing the
just-
repairs will be saddled on us.
We could swing by the Tower of Tinkerer to see about repairs to the shed.
You will love to see us again. Jump will just head over to the helm.
Are we in unison? Are we heading east? Southeast-ish.
East, southeast. Yes.
All right. Autobots. Take
Assemble.
off.
Did anyone think to bring the gangplank up first?
The
Autobots.
airship.
Take back the gangplank.
He's multitasking. He's doing everything all at once, like he's a pro.
The gnome is just about to hit the lever on the furnace to get the airship flying up, and then you then you remind everyone about the gangplank, and the same gnome rushes over the gangplank, pulls it up aboard, and then goes to the furnace and hits the lever.
We seriously need a button for that. Or like a timer. You'll get on that when we hit the Tower of Tinkery.
There's no danger of hitting anything where you have landed. Unless you like roll a critical failure, but so yeah. Next to no reason to roll. So you so you get up into the sky and climb towards the mountains once more. Heading towards the thorn.
Hoping not to encounter any dragons.
Yeah, the thorn wash around here.
Well, actually, I wouldn't mind meeting another one. Maybe it's his brother.
Perm, I just realized that spell you created.
Hmm.
When
like
do we
it?
level, by the way? I just figured when I level, I would be super captain, because those things we gave away. I guess the others got some spells, and then I get some feats or something. The prodigy thing.
Yeah, those are
Yeah, that had-
those are feats that you can select from as additional level up options.
Yeah, so that is like when we level up next time, right?
Yeah.
So that had
I think
skills.
so. Whenever you have the next ability score modifier increase, you can.
Yeah, that is now.
It's level 8.
Yeah.
So basically, I would get a boost in the captain range because I would be proficient in vehicle air, and my wisdom would just. So that's something to look forward to.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
I will.
When you level, if you level.
I will just ask Reherson to join me in the bubble. I wish to discuss with him something.
Quilana and Reherden sitting in the bubble.
Look at that, Kothar. It wasn't just you that got it on while we were in Shalmista. Something happened on a ship, too.
Considering how
smooth
Reherden is
jazz
walking.
starts playing.
Considering how Reherden is walking.
That wasn't because of Quilana. That was because of another group.
Another tree?
You've been busy.
Well, he had someone poking him in the behind.
That was the tree. And that was because we're terrible at flying.
I knew exactly where I'm flying, but the gnomes don't know how to navigate. I will look at Reherson and ask if he can join me in the bubble.
I will look at you as if to and ask, is this about testing that thing?
No, we agreed that we will test it on them.
Okay. I will enter the bubble.
I have this different thing that I.
That's another thing I want to test.
So I want to kind of try and get. I will ask you actually, Reherson. I'm curious about your religion.
Jesus Christ. Notes. I have notes.
Oh, I see.
Could you share with me, teach me about your religion, because I'd like to be able to maybe practice it.
That sounds like a job for the ceremony spell.
Well, you start in the small with hands. And then you learn to love yourself. Then you learn to love others like you
When a
love
yourself.
mommy and daddy love each other very
So
much.
first of all, Reherson needs to decide whether he wants to share with me anything.
Yeah.
Question is, why wouldn't he? I mean,
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
exactly.
It's all about spreading the love.
And once you start telling her, she will probably be writing it down. As a sage, she will just go into sage mode and just start writing down stuff that she learns into her book.
I'm guessing I will go into like a practice spiel about Sune.
Can I tell you about our Lord and Savior Sune?
And at the same time, I will be secretly trying to use the dedication section of the ceremony spell.
Sure.
What does it do? Because I might actually cooperate. I mean, she's.
I haven't actually added that as a spell yet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a essentially a blessing for a convert to the religion.
Well,
For the next
she's not,
chapter. Yep.
she's not against it. I mean, you know the backstory of her and how she met them all, so.
Yeah, that's true. You seem like the right kind of person we're looking for.
By the way, the noise barrier of the bubble is complete. I mean, I'm not allowing anyone to hear anything.
Okay. Or see anything, I'm guessing. Okay.
And you will just see this chair that you have no clue where it came from, just standing there in the bubble, and I'm sitting on it.
Why don't you take a seat over there?
A pedestal appears in front of me with a small book.
Alright, so I'll try and learn his religion while we're flying a bit forward.
Sure. Good. Excellent. Meanwhile, on the deck, you are navigating towards your target.
Target
Slowly.
acquired.
Yes. Night falls as you are crossing over the mountains once more.
I will renew my bubble.
Okay.
And this time
And
it will
this-
be back.
Good.
Lothar will make sure to get some proper rest.
Good. You may all have a long rest. This is where we shall end this session, and you may level up.
Yay!
Yay!
But now I just need to
Level
choose the
8.
spell.
Oh,
And then I've
Captain,
also
my
rolled
Captain.
Which is 1d10 plus 1.
1
I
second.
feel the urge.
Well, let's hope I don't roll shit for health again.
I feel the urge for speed.
The need
I feel
for
the urge
speed.
feels me. How do I roll this hit dice? It constantly bugs me. There we go.
That health roll though.
Finally, good rolls, huh?
Wow.
I rolled max for what I can roll.
Did you see that? Look at it. Look at it. It's a beautiful roll.
You don't see it.
No, because it's a GM roll.
Exactly.
Hold on. Oh, that's good.
Right?
Jesus Christ, I'm at 72 HP.
That's almost minimal.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm not advancing
Wow.
too quickly on the HP. Just to get you the idea, I have 28.
I'm at 72 HP.
Yeah,
What the
so
fuck? What
my
did I-
rolls have been horrible with HP.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yep. I'm okay. It fits her character.
I need to open up and check what I actually
Good.
get for getting total.
It really
You're-
does. I mean,
You're all back together and flying off to
yep.
Into
Too
the
hard.
new
Certain
adventures. Yes. Your
Mm.
doom.
Yes.
Doom! Yes.
Doom, I tell you.
Doom.
Such doom. Level 8, ability score improvement, which also lets me learn a feat instead. So, what was I going
So, how surprising was it that I chose something else except what I wanted to go?
I don't know.
My
Given the way you play Polana, not that surprising.
When you play a character purely surprising, then it stops being surprising.
yeah, actually, Yeah, it's plans.
I went with Polar Master. Now I
Where
want to
is the
take.
thingy? Where's that?
Chris, do you remember what I was going to take after Polar Master for feet?
Do you have was it Sentinel?
I think it was Sentinel. Sentinel.
Haven't you already picked 2 feats? No.
No. No, I have. Yeah.
Sentinel is the thing that lets you whack thing that enters your thingy,
Yes.
your range.
All right.
I do a Sentinel. Yes.
Any questions, comments, concerns?
I'd just like to comment that
When do I
there
get
was
my
no hole
moonblade?
there was no hole in the ship.
Yes, there are no holes in the ship,
Just scratches.
and you will get your moonblade on level
When you-
19.
Oh,
Perfect.
okay. So almost. You're almost there.
I rolled that well for it.
Right, you're close.
I rolled a +5 for it.
Sentinel, I need to add that.
Good. I'll close off the stream then, so you
Sure.
can continue babbling about your level up process.
Yep.
Seb,
See
what's
you next week.
what's your plan for the feat?
My feat is prodigy. All of a sudden, I know a new language. You will never guess what language that is. I also gain a
Is it Draconic?
modifier. No, it's not Draconic. It's Elven. Now they cannot speak behind my back. I know a lot of languages.
You've secretly been having one of those mini dictionaries. Like,
Yes. I know Common, Orcish, Elvish, and Dwarvish.
I hope you play along and have a phrase book, and then have just a
Oh,
Monty
hell yeah.
Python joke going on the whole time.
I have been like now I can see
My
from the
hovercraft
scene I
eel-
like this.
full of
Full of
eels.
eels.
It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna try my best to speak Elven.
Oh,
But
goody.
yeah, that was that was basically it, right? That was the new language, new skill, new yeah, more of it wisdom, one more wisdom.
Mhm.
There was a lot of stuff.
lot of stuff.
So now I'm
Mhm.
good.
This is from the tattoo.
No, this is from the thing I got, my lineage.
Yeah. He doesn't have magic. I'm dishing out spells and all sorts of other magical stuff for you guys, so I'm giving the fighter a little bit of something as well. The form
Speaking
of
of that,
feats.
I need to check that and see if I get anything.
Not that Sepp is making the best use of the utility I'm offering necessarily, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yes.
Good. I'm closing the stream.
Sure.
See you next time in 1 week.